Peter.
Hi, Rose.
Welcome to our PodFast. So thank you very much for coming to run this with me. This is my first time doing a PodFast properly with someone, so forgive me if I'm a little bit nervous. I've got a few questions for you.
Okay.
Could you please tell us a bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay, so my name's Peter. I run a business. We build websites. We tend to do the more technical side of it, so it's the software and what makes it work. We do mostly e-commerce or trading online sites. That covers the whole spectrum, and we do some really big sites. The biggest one does about £2 million a month. Smaller start down to a couple of guys doing bits and pieces.
Wow. And how would you define success in your work?
I work with a lot of people, and my actual metric is, are they happy? And that's across the board. It's customers, obviously. It's the people who work for me and me. And I'm lucky in that I do a job that I love. But that metric, it's not about profits or margins. My philosophy is that if you get it right, then the profits follow. So that's my metric. Are my customers happy? Are the guys who work for me happy? And am I happy?
I love that. And what's one piece of advice that you would give to someone in your field?
I think it actually ties in. It's something that's technical. It's surprisingly people-focused. I have customers who vary from fairly technical to completely non-technical.
Yeah.
And what's important in my particular role is that I bridge that gap. That people who don't understand the technology can talk to me, and I can tell them what it can do, and I can translate that over to the guys who work for me into requirements. And tied in with that is maintaining the personal relationships, and at the absolute heart of it is integrity. For me, we work very closely with people, and they have to trust me. I see all their data, I see their sales,
Yeah.
I see their suppliers, I see their prices, and if people couldn't trust us, they wouldn't do business with us. And fundamentally, that integrity means that people come to us because they know that we'll get the job done, and they can trust us in every sense of the word.
Yeah, yeah.
So that would be my advice. Maintain your integrity.
Maintain your integrity. I like that. And what's one lesson you've learned from managing your own business?
It's another semi-personal thing, and it's stuff goes wrong. And I actually have a saying that once is experience, twice is a mistake. For me, it's really important. Going back, I used to see anything going wrong as a failure, and I took it pretty badly. But now I see it as a learning experience, and it creates a much more positive, proactive kind of approach rather than a blame culture where you daren't do anything wrong or you end up back covering. I think it ties in with integrity a bit, because it's important to be honest with your customers, and it's important that they understand, and everybody understands, that occasionally things go wrong and you come out the other side, and you are stronger and better for it as a business. So that would be one lesson I've learned, that actually there isn't, unless you do it twice, there isn't really such thing as failure. It's trying something, and if it works, happy days.
I like that. I think it's a lot about transparency, isn't it? And I think customers really value that, don't they? So thank you very much for that. Let's pop on to some fun questions. Okay. If you were a Disney princess, what would you be?
Better looking than I am now.
Oh my gosh.
Other than that, I'd probably be I don't know Disney characters very well, but I'd probably be the one out of Frozen.
Elsa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She counts as a princess?
Yeah, she turns into a queen, but she starts off as a princess, so I would say I would say she counts. What's the most unusual thing you own?
Oh, sorry. What's the most unusual thing that I own?
Yeah.
This is kind of geeky. A junction box from a Vulcan bomber. And the Vulcan bombers are amazing planes, and they used to sell off obsolete parts to fund the plane to keep it flying. And at the time, I was fairly hard up. I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll just bump the price up a bit so they get more money for it. So I put a bid in for a couple £100. I thought, somebody pay more than that. And they didn't. So I now have a junction box from a Vulcan bomber.
If you could only eat one food item for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's a tough one because I love food.
Yeah,
cook,
you're a foodie.
I'm an absolute foodie. I suppose if I'm going to do that, I'm going to choose my absolute favourite, and that's quite tough. I'm going to say sweet and sour prawns.
Oh, nice.
And fried rice.
Yeah, oh, that's good. That's a good shout. That's a good shout, yeah. And last one, what's your favourite conspiracy theory?
This is going to be a tough one because actually I get into arguments with conspiracy theories.
Do you?
Yes. So I guess actually I'm going to put it the other way, in that it's only going to be my favourite because it's one that I get into discussion with people about. And there was a boat that crashed into a pier in the States, in Boston I think it was, and it's just an accident. And the details are clear. The engines failed, all the control systems failed, hit a bridge. And you get all these American conspiracists who are trying to blame the CIA, and there's nothing in it. It just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
So in my spare time, when I'm not quite such a nice guy, I point out the error of their ways, and they generally don't agree with me.
Have you thought maybe it was an accident?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming onto our PodFast and giving us such amazing answers, and we will speak to you soon.
Yeah,
I've
enjoyed it, so thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.